So without further ado, we will ado further. And by that I mean, right before I started talking, I pressed the record button.
Because of course you did.
Yes. Hello, and welcome to Cause and Effect. This is a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign where everything that happens is the player's fault. Sometimes also the characters, as a treat. Tonight I'm joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, Ellie, Io, and Jen. And if I ask what happened last time, we'll be talking about a different party. So instead, we will go... The screen will get wavy, but we'll have to do that in post. So just imagine that's happening right now. Yes. Flashback to quite some time ago, but still not so long ago that that episode has gone live yet. It's in the queue. It will go live eventually.
We jumped a shark.
No, you jumped on the shark. Not quite
Close
the
enough.
same thing. It's close.
Yeah, true.
Close. But if you had jumped the shark, you would not have landed on the shark, and therefore your sneak attack damage wouldn't have been as good.
Indeed.
Yes. So,
Doing sneak attack damage to the water is usually not as helpful.
No, it's
the water
not.
knows what it did.
It got me wet.
And
Yes.
if you fight the water wins.
Yes, it's very tragic.
Also, Hobby already has inspiration, so making you laugh gives you nothing.
It gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling.
It's not like Cypher System, where you can just keep stacking them and then be tier 6 because you made me laugh so much. Right. So, what happened previously was you had gone to Oregano because they had a couple of problems. One problem, they had a dragon turtle that was accosting ships that were attempting to do trade with the undead who had made Oregano their home. They're friendly undead. Their leader is Tim, the enchanter. And by enchanter, I mean undead warlock. But some would call him Tim. Anyway, he has a very nice floral bonnet that he wears. That's all grayscale. A kobold gave it to him once. Never mind about that. So, I need to... There we go. So they have the dragon turtle, but also they've had Sahuagin attacks. It was believed that they were related. They didn't necessarily have proof to this because they weren't actually able to go over and, pull out a writing pad and a quill pen and say, excuse me, dragon turtle, quick question. Are the Sahuagin putting you up to this? Your steam breath seems to have reduced me to negative hit points. Thank you so much for this conversation. Have a lovely day. Well, in the time since you arrived, you had not fought the dragon turtle, but you had in fact fought Sahuagin. And a good time was had by all who were
Except
not
the Sahuagin.
No, the Sahuagin did not have a good time. They have given Oregano a negative rating in their Yelp review. Fantasy Yelp. Yes. They actually may have Yelp.
Probably.
Yes. And you all got caps of water breathing. Well, those of you who needed caps of water breathing. Some of you don't need to breathe underwater, and some of you had other means of doing it. Some of you were dreading the whole experience. And you were going to go investigate underwater. I forget exactly what you were going to look for because I didn't listen to that episode when reviewing things. Instead, I listened to the episode where, as you were about to head down, a giant shark attacked. The giant shark attacked because it was chasing after 4 sea elves who... This is not immediately after the last session ended. You've had a little bit of time to catch your breath. I'm not going to say you've had a long rest.
Or even
I'll
a
let you
short
click the
one?
button for a short rest if you wish.
Ooh, okay. Yes, short rest, please.
Yes. So apparently they are from a sea elf city referred to as the Spires. The Spires are currently controlled in part by the Sahuagin. The Sahuagin came in and took over the whole thing, and they were having a marvelous time sacrificing sea elf after sea elf to their shark god, as one does. Things got a bit more dicey because the Sahuagin got pushed to the edge of the Spires by something else. The sea elves don't know what it is, but it was powerful enough to displace a Sahuagin force large enough to take over an entire underwater city, and their shark god, who is very much not on a celestial plane, is very much in the water and has been eating sea elves.
Rude.
Fish are friends, not food, but sea elves are food. not friends, according to the Sahuagin. The shark
Well,
that you killed.
that's concerning, is what I was going to say, but, well, everything's concerning.
So,
Emil nods at this. Emil nods vigorously at this. So the dragon, not dragon, that's a different thing. I'm thinking of the dragon turtle. The shark that you killed was baby, not an actual baby. The Sahuagin keep sharks as friends, not food. And some of them were empowered by their shark god. And this was one of them. And
that's how
well,
it could resist my fear, the wretched thing.
yeah, well, Terish had something to say about that.
Which was, no, you should fear me.
Isli's god had something to say about that too.
Nighty-night.
Yes, it was lulled into an eternal slumber by Atoll the Dead. And then we had, and this is the third time I'm saying it, second time in a recording. Actually, no, maybe the third time in the recording, but never mind. We had a cat riding a sinking shark. And that one is wet.
That one is wet. And splash, 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 splash. You have the saddest wet cat paladin, Palarogue.
You are all back up in the tunnel. I'm not gonna go through that. You didn't hang out in the water for a short rest, I'll tell you that much. And you've been getting this exposition from the Sea Elves. They were in part able to escape because the Sahuagin are in a bit of disarray from being pushed out of where they were consolidating their power. And now they're trying to do it again. But apparently they lost a considerable number of their forces in the process. Which is possibly one of the reasons why they're infringing on Oregano's territory, because they gotta go somewhere.
I'm glad the four of you managed to get away.
Yeah.
How many more are there to get out?
We don't know. It was our group was several hundred that made a break for it. We scattered so they wouldn't be able to round us all up at once. We knew most of us would probably be killed.
But there might be other groups out there.
Might be. We might be the only ones. There's probably more in the city still that haven't had the opportunity to try to escape.
Then we'll do what we can.
Hobby is going to report the situation to member services just in case some other adventurers feel like going and sailing the high seas.
Okay.
And then going to the low seas.
All right. Right around the time you finish phoning home, the tunnel shakes. And
Is that
there
the
is
dragon turtle?
That's not a good sign.
There is a
gotta get out.
crumbling avalanche sound from the tunnel opening.
Something just bashed through into the cove. Is it the shark god or the dragon turtle?
Emil, well, actually, give me a perception check. Perception check at disadvantage because you were all distracted.
Disadvantage.
Hobby still gets an 18. Cat sees all.
Good gods. Wait, no, that's
Oh,
two.
you got an advantage. No,
I
disadvantage.
I thought I clicked the disadvantage.
To be fair,
Disadvantage.
disadvantage has the word advantage in it.
Yes, yes, it does. And it's still adding them.
Well, it's adding bonuses. You still get to add your bonus, but it's taking the lower.
Holy crap, I got that much of a bonus?
Well, you're level 12. Oh yeah, spoiler, we leveled up in the break.
Rip.
It looks like you have expertise.
Oh, yeah, that might be it.
Well, Emil got a 5, so Emil is not helping.
Poor Emil.
Merrick,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I see what you did, but we're not gonna count that roll as 20.
Okay.
Because
I just couldn't remember
how
the
you rolled
number
it. I
sequence.
see how you rolled it, so we can math this. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
A podcast I was listening to earlier today actually had the GM go, okay, enough of this nerd stuff. Let's play some D&D.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want me to re-roll or?
No. We'll use these numbers. We have to take the 7 because it's a disadvantage, and your perception is +4 because you are proficient in it. So that got you
11.
some math. Thank you.
11?
11.
Yeah, you got an 11, which is not bad so far as being distracted by a bunch of waterlogged sea elves and a wet cat.
Okay.
Poppy has been licking her fur
Oh no.
Oddly enough, not making it better because it's salt water.
Oh no.
Ellie, I see what you're saying, but this was not necessarily a sneak attack. So this isn't you being surprised by this. But again, we're not going to be arguing about this, as you said. So this is just to notice a thing. So I will say that anyone who rolled higher than a 10 did see the giant shark fin go past again when the tunnel shook and the avalanche happened. It sideswiped that smaller opening that the large shark had gone through earlier, and in the process making it a larger opening. Well, now it's a bigger opening.
It's trying to bash its way in. Anybody got any fireball trebuchets?
Fresh out. Sorry.
I'm
Pity.
not sure that we'd be able to put one in this tunnel. It's a little cramped. Now, at this point, your attention has definitely been directed to that opening in the little cove area. So I will not require a perception check for you to see the turtle shell approaching at speed.
Oh, goody, we've got them both. Do you think they're gonna fight, or are they teaming up?
It goes away.
Merrick, watch out. It's blue.
And Merrick's in the lead, so yes, it would go after Merrick.
Yep.
Because Merrick got a 20 for initiative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, who's this at the door? Oh, it's a Nintendo lawyer. I'm being sued for patent infringement for patents that have just been created.
No, I
Fascinating.
think that we can defend this quite well on parody. This is clearly a parody.
The joke I'm making for those not in the know is when Pal World came out, it was
Oh,
not infringing
yeah.
on any patents owned by Nintendo. Nintendo
Not at
then
all.
filed for patents, got them
Mhm.
approved, and is now suing Pal World.
I think there might be a problem with that, but this is why the lawyers are going to be paid.
I do think, if I remember correctly, they are suing in Japan, which has slightly different rules.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. I wrote something about that
So-
for somebody I write for, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they might be able to get away with it because beloved Japanese company. Beloved because makes lots of money.
Mhm.
But whatever.
Yep.
Nintendo, I'm just going to table all those thoughts. We don't need to talk about that right now. Anyway, save that for when we're playing Super Mario Brothers the RPG.
We could do that in
We're,
GURPS.
no, we're not going to. We are not going to.
Cyber.
Aw.
So not the blue shell. The shell submerges.
Hang on, it's probably gonna ram the cove.
It submerged after it went through the opening to the cove.
Oh, it got through.
Oh, okay. All right.
It went away from
Oh.
the opening.
So we changed our plan and we're not going in the water now, right? We're not gonna go
Correct.
exploring now?
Probably not.
Okay. All right. I'm in favor of this plan.
But if we want to talk to
say-
the dragon, if we want to
I
talk
s-
to the dragon turtle, it's here.
No, it's there. We're here. I would like to be
Okay.
somewhere else, I think, at this particular point. The CLs are not disagreeing with this statement at all. They're already heading down the tunnel. They have never been here before. They don't know what's down the tunnel, but they know down the tunnel is not Dragon Turtle.
Mm.
Poppy is going to point a meal towards the sea elves. Maybe you could get them to safety.
I like the idea of us all going to... Okay, so at this point, we are going to slow down time a little bit. I am not going to say that time is actually slowing down, just your perception of it. As a dragon head comes up through the opening of the tunnel, it is large enough that it's filling a lot of the tunnel, not all of it, but a lot of it. Now, the scale of a dragon turtle is such that it would not be able to fit in the tunnel that you are in. That's fine. If it approaches at a fast enough speed for a tunnel that is mostly mined salt, it will stretch to fit.
Great.
Everyone make a dexterity saving throw to get out of the way.
Oh boy. Okay.
Let's see.
Where is that one? Dexterity saving roll. Okay.
Yeah, so if you're on the main tab of your character sheet, the one where it says details. Saving throws are
Mhm.
right in the middle.
Oh, so they are. If I don't scroll. Okay, I assume it's going to be normal. Does I have anything that I should be looking at that's useful? Saving throws. Oh,
Yeah, I was going to say, you probably have evasion.
I do in fact have evasion. We shall see how that works out.
I'm looking up a thing. I'm using one of its other stat in order to determine the damage. So if you do not make your save, and the save needs to be 15 or higher. If you don't
15!
If you don't make your save, it is 16 points of bludgeoning damage. If you do make your save, it's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage from falling debris.
But I have evasion.
Yes. So
I made my
you
save.
miraculously dodge everything, which is a shame because the salt would help dry up the water.
But then I would be very salty when I was trying to wash myself off.
Let's
And,
be
you
honest,
know-
you've been very salty since you jumped in the water.
Yes, I have.
Actually, since before you jumped in the water.
Uh-huh.
So that means Emil's going to take the full 16. Let's put that in there for you.
How do I do a specific amount of damage to myself anyway?
You click on your hit points and you math it, unfortunately.
No.
You click on your hit points and you type in -8.
No.
No, that is true. I just did.
Really?
Oh,
Really?
really?
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Neat. Thank you.
I just figured that out myself. I thought I would make everybody else's life a little easier.
Mhm.
And I still managed to do it wrong.
Yeah, I did too. I typed -7.
Oh, no, I clicked after the number and put -16 because Emil failed the save. But no, you are replacing the number when you put in minus and the subtraction. That is, welcome to the opposite of fighting with Foundry.
Yeah.
We're all rather surprised by this.
Yeah.
And yet somehow I like this system. What's going... It's like Linux. No one hates Linux more than the people who use Linux every day, by choice.
Yeah.
I had to boot into Windows today. I love Linux even more. I still hate Linux, but I love Linux even more because I had to boot into Windows today. Anyway,
There have been arguments made that Linux is better for gaming now than Windows because Linux, it's kind of a pain to get games running in Linux, but at least you don't have to deal with all of the stuff that Windows installs.
no, we're sure you want an AI bot that's going to take a screenshot of everything you're doing every 30 seconds and save it on your computer unencrypted.
Yes.
This is a feature that nobody asked for, so we know you want it.
Yeah, you don't get that with Macs. You really don't.
No. Although I do wish that Apple realized that people will want more than just the one thing that they're willing to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Like a mouse that you can only charge by turning it upside down.
I have a Logitech trackball for my Mac.
We have 15 Macs that were delivered to my school for student use. And we have the mice that came with them.
Oh yeah, the mice that Apple delivers are just...
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Apple has never made a good mouse, unfortunately.
Mice, computers, Linux, etc. aside, Dragon Turtle?
Dragon Turtle.
The Dragon Turtle rises up, comes into the tunnel, and you realize the Dragon Turtle is wearing a black t-shirt that says, "I'm here because you broke something."
Oh, no.
It wants to interject. That thing that you've been talking about is actually referred to as GNU Linux, or as they've been calling it, GNU plus Linux.
Merrick, hit the Dragon Turtle or something.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you
I
like
should
to
probably make
rage?
the Dragon Turtle be visible.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let me find
There
Rage
we
in
go.
the character sheet. Oh, wow. That's a thing.
That's a
Holy
thing.
moly. All right. Let's see. I know I have Rage somewhere. Where the heck is it? Trying to
It
look up
would
the
likely
character sheet here.
be in features.
Features.
Yep, it's in
Okay.
features. It's the topmost thing in features. Well,
Okay.
topmost thing under barbarian features.
Right.
So click on where
let
it
me
says
just
rage.
poke
and you get a
around
pop-up.
and I'll find it. There it is. Okay. So Merrick is going to Rage. I'm not sure what happened there. There it is. It's there.
Yep,
Okay.
It gave all the information, and the number of rages you have has gone down to 3 from 4.
Okay.
So it has, in fact, you have activated your rage card.
Yes.
He references a card game and an anime that he has neither played nor watched. Right.
Okay.
With that said,
so
you get to take 2 swings at this thing. Oh, wait.
2 swings
you
at the thing?
are-
Is that what I'm doing?
I realized you've got a thing that we have not been putting into play
Okay.
because you are a Path of Wild Magic barbarian.
Right.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
And we ignored this last time.
Okay.
So we have to do something with this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
As a Path of Wild Magic barbarian, things are supposed to happen when you get angry.
Okay.
Wild
Amazing.
magic table.
Yes, magic
Okay.
awareness is not it. I've got to find the Wild Magic table for you. You should have one.
All right.
It should
It's
be
right
on
here.
It is
Feature,
there.
Wild Surge.
Wild
Um,
Surge?
Oh, Wild Surge. There we go. Okay. So, Wild
And
Surge.
Okay.
it has
My
an open.
Gosh, that doesn't display well.
All right. Let's see. Wow, that's a lot of words.
That is a lot of words, but
Yes.
also, so roll me a D8.
D8. Okay. 1D8. Got a 2.
Okay. So, according to this, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. Until
Okay.
your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action.
That sounds like fun.
Congratulations, you're
Okay.
a blink dog.
Yes.
Okay, so
hmm
place your character wherever you want in relation to the dragon turtle right now.
Okay, I'm going to put my character like right around here. He looks like he's under it, but yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Hopefully that'll work. I'll have to move the dragon turtle for you to click on the character if necessary. But all right.
That's
So
fine. Mhm.
basically you're
Yes.
like, I'm not in danger. I don't like it
Yep.
when I'm not in danger. All right. With that
Yep.
said, find your weapon and roll to attack.
Okay, let me find the weapon. It's here somewhere. There we are. Okay, so it's an axe. And
Yep.
I'm gonna do what did I get? 23?
A 23 might be able to hit it.
Okay.
Yes. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. Got an 11.
All right. I'll apply that. And
Okay.
do that again. The attack.
The
not
attack?
damage.
Okay.
You get
Yeah.
2 of them.
I get 2 of them. All right. Attack.
Oh.
That didn't work very well. Yeah. I think he missed.
Whoosh.
Mhm.
I like that at level 12, a nat 1 still counts as a 10 in some cases.
Apparently,
But
Merrick's a little confused at the moment.
but a 10 would not hit either. All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's your, unless you're going to move from there, that's your bonus action and action.
Okay.
And I should probably actually press the start combat button.
Yeah. I think he's gonna just back up a little bit or something, but
Okay. Well, don't back up too far.
Yeah.
You'll invoke attack of opportunity.
I'm sorry,
Or
say
that's
again?
What you want. Never mind.
Okay.
So next up is Isili.
Isili is going to use Emboldening Bond on the 4 PCs. And I will remind everyone that this also gives Protective Bond, which means we can take damage for each other. And that's my action.
Okay.
And as a bonus action, I cast this on Tex.
Holy Weapon. I'm assuming you cast Holy Weapon on Tex's weapon, not on Tex.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, she'd probably be happy to just sort of slam herself onto the dragon turtle and like body slam.
Tex becomes a Holy Weapon. Merrick picks up Tex and dual wields.
Sure.
You're a halfling. She's a
Yep.
giant war mech.
Yes. Yes.
As Tex is used to bludgeon the dragon turtle, Tex is also striking with Chainbreaker. Not Oathbreaker. That's something else. I will worry about those details when we come to it. All right. So next up is going to be Emil. Emil is going to regret life choices or unlife choices because Emil is vampire. I am going to switch this to the legacy sheet so I can actually see more than one character sheet. There we go. Emil has moved his speed of 30, 10, 20, 30. A 16 is not going to do it, and Emil does not have multi-attack. So that is Emil's turn. I like playing underpowered characters because I don't play them for as long, and we can get back to everyone else doing things.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have something where I'm playing like 8 or 12 characters, and like, okay, so my character attacks my character attacks my other character. Moving on. Hobby.
Vow of enmity. Bonus action. Yo, you.
Get off of my cloud.
Yeah. So that gets advantage on attack rolls, and let's see, what have I got? And as my action, I'm actually going to do let's see. Okay, so that's well, because my bonus action would be to get my things do I can't understand this sheet. Let me go back to the other sheet. Not default sheet. Legacy sheet. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a that'll probably be my last one on that, but it's bonus action, not an action. So for my action, I'm actually going to throw a cantrip at advantage.
Ray of Frost. A 14 will not hit.
Whoosh. Oh well. You'd think it'd have it hits, it just doesn't actually do anything.
You hit the shell.
Apparently. Okay. I believe that's all I get to do.
Well, now we come to...
I don't think I get a double attack.
Sorry?
No. I don't think I get a double attack
to
now.
invoke an attack of opportunity.
I'm just going to look at you like just you have the level stare.
All right.
I'll find a gift for that. I don't need an attack of opportunity. I don't want an attack of opportunity. I want to do the attacks of opportunity, not vice versa.
Anyway, it is Tex's turn. Ellie?
My microphone wasn't on.
Does this count for muted on the bingo card?
I believe it does.
Okay.
I forgot about the bingo cards. I don't think I have the headspace for the bingo cards today.
I haven't got one up, but I'm just sort of going to mention them periodically because I remember what's on them.
That's fine.
I've learned I need to only have them open when I'm not the GM because the temptation to steer things in a way where I get to just use the bingo card is unfair.
Remember, you get a 1d4.
1d4, yeah.
A 1d4 is not going to bring that over the required AC.
Okay. Then I won't bother.
Okay. A 1d4 could bring that over the required one because you only need a 1. There we go.
There it is.
You hit the AC exactly.
Okay.
We now know
New
it's
information.
20. I will apply the 8 damage to the dragon turtle and not Emil.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to be ridiculous here.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I move back here.
You are invoking an attack of opportunity.
I am not because I have the mobile feat. And I hit it with an attack.
You are not invoking an attack of opportunity.
Whoa.
Why did it roll all of that? That is not right.
That is a lot.
No, it's only supposed to roll 2 the d8 and then it rolled 6.
You
Wow.
rolled all the d8 you have.
No.
Well, I'll take the 2 8s.
Yeah, take the 2 8s.
It looks like the first 2 are an 8 and a 1.
It does look like the first 2 are 8 and 1. So now if I put -9 here, will it work? I'm looking at the old style sheet. It does work, even in the old sheets. Wonderful. Okay. So mechanically, we know what happens. You moved 5 feet diagonally and 9 points of radiant damage happened.
Yes.
Tex,
Not in that order.
what did you do?
And now Hobby and I switch places.
There. Maneuvers.
And
Bait and switch.
Hobby gets +6 to AC until the start of my next turn.
All right. So
Nice.
what happened was you went with Chainbreaker, took a swing, bounced off the armor, took a swing again, did a little bit of damage, but also because Holy Weapon was cast, you did radiant damage on top of that. Then you backed away using some fancy footwork in order to not invoke attack of opportunity, and grabbed the scruff of Hobby's neck, yoinked Hobby back,
Hey.
and moved forward into the spot where Hobby was.
Yes.
All right. I'm just trying to remember this is an audio format, so I have to explain
Right.
to the audience what went on.
Right. Right.
And the
Oh,
objective was get Hobby out of biting range without provoking an opportunity attack.
Ah, neat. It is the Dragon Turtle's turn. Ignore the fact that it's named Sam Reich. It's been that the whole time.
Oh dear.
I wanted any rolls I did to show up as Sam Reich. It didn't work properly. It still showed the actual stats
Aw.
name, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
What is the point is yeah, it's not giving me the option of placing a 60-foot cone. But I will say it looks like the 60-foot cone would likely hit Tex and Hobby and Isili. So the three
Yes.
of you, I am going to ask to make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
Okay, let me check if we get a D4.
I think you and Hobby do. I don't, because it can only be used once per turn.
Yeah, but that's per turn, not per round.
Oh, good point.
Isli makes it with a 26. Tex makes it with a 23.
Where's my Constitution saving throw? Do I get to do a D4 on that?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, with a 4. Okay, that's 4.
I see you've rolled a 4. And okay. A 17 makes it. There we go. So
I'm
let's see.
wet. Oh, I was already wet. Soda.
Well, let's see if I can roll this damage with some additional math.
That's a lot of numbers.
Okay. So, well, yeah, its breath weapon does 15d6 fire damage on a failed save. However, you'll note that as a 0.5 there, because it let me divide it in half since you all made your save. So you're taking 26 points of fire damage.
I wish that evasion would let me do that, but you said that that's a con, not a dex save.
It is
And
a
I
con
need to
save.
make a
Concentration check, yes. And you do.
which yes I do.
Good news, everyone. You can keep rolling d4s. Put them all under the dragon
No,
turtle.
no, the
It'll step on
D4
them.
isn't the thing. The D4 isn't
Holy
the
weapon.
concentration thing.
The
Holy
holy
weapon.
thing. Yeah.
Yes, that was
I like.
for Tex hitting things with light.
I still like my joke about d4s being caltrops, though.
That's fair.
Yes. All right. So that ends that round. We're back up to Merrick, who is currently
Okay.
underneath the dragon turtle, which I am allowing as an unoccupied space because dragon turtle big, Merrick halfling.
Yep.
Just imagine Merrick is in a tunnel that is a bit smaller than the tunnel was before, striking
Mhm.
at the ceiling over and over again to get to the meaty bits inside.
Right. Right.
That's an image.
That is an image. Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Um,
wish to teleport? Because you could do that as a bonus action.
Yeah. Let's do
Or do you
it.
just- Where do you want to teleport to?
Let's see. Let's see. Trying to see where that is on my character sheet.
Well, your
here.
character is. Well, no, this is because of the wild magic. You got
Oh,
you get to
okay.
this because you're raging. So
Right.
you can-
Okay.
you could teleport to somewhere else nearby, or you could just stay under the dragon turtle and keep hitting it.
I think I'm going to do that second one. Scoot back under
Okay.
the turtle a bit, or maybe they can't get me.
Oh,
you know?
well, you're still under it. You never
Yeah.
scooched out.
Oh, yeah.
You said you moved a little bit, but you didn't move very far. So go
Okay.
ahead and use your weapon. You're gonna get to make two
Okay.
attacks.
Alrighty. Let me go get that straightened out. Here it
It's
is.
not just a good act.
Mhm.
28's gonna hit.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
Oh. Okay. Roll for damage. 12.
I'm just gonna apply that and roll another attack.
Okay. One more attack. Let's try that again.
That
24?
24 is gonna hit.
Yeah.
Roll your damage.
Okay. All right.
It's weird,
does
but
get
being
in-
directly underneath the dragon turtle means that it can't hit you with its breath weapon either.
Right. Okay, that's a 16.
All right. It's not on the ropes, but you think if you hit it a few more times, you might get to have some turtle soup.
Sounds good.
A few doesn't necessarily mean 3.
1, 2, crunch. 3.
You are no. The Owlin is in the other party.
Right.
Anyway, I really like that character too. Anyway, Isili,
Yes.
you've just been flambe. Well, you've been steam cleaned.
My
you like to do?
hair is now extremely poofy.
There's a GIF for that.
There it is.
But also, your armor has never been shinier.
I wish I could do some of my bonus actions as a regular action. Oh, that's a regular action.
Guardian of Faith. That's cool.
A large spectral guardian appears and hovers for the duration of in an occupied space of your choice. Where are you going to put the guardian?
I am going to use this picture of a ghost to represent it.
That works. I was going to move the real Sam Rice to that spot then, but that works too.
Okay.
What does your guardian of faith look like?
It does say it's indistinct normally.
Indistinct, but a lot of DMs have flavored it as letting the cleric decide what it looks like, similar to what's done with Holy Weapon. Or not weapon, spiritual weapon.
It is an armored figure, but there isn't anyone inside the armor. It's just armor filled with an outpouring of warmth.
The verbal component of the spell was Triguna Tracoides Trigorum Satis D.
Huh?
Someone got that joke.
No. I just
No.
realized it was something.
It's from Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. It's the spell that animates things.
Oh.
And in the dramatic conclusion, when the Nazis are invading, it's used to animate all of the armor in a museum. The armor is from a wide variety of time periods and cultures.
But that's okay. They all get to punch Nazis.
Wait, why was I out of 3rd level spells?
We just
Because
had the
we didn't do
fight.
a long rest since the last time we played.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you had to cast a spell at 4th level because you were out of a certain level of spells.
Yeah.
So, this was intentional. I did want this fight to be something where there was some more wearing down. So, at this point, am I rolling the save now, or do I wait until the Dragon Turtle's turn? I think it's on the Dragon Turtle's turn.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's on the Dragon
Yeah,
Turtle's
because it's
turn.
not moving
think
into the
so.
space right now.
Right.
It's not locked in here with the spiritual figure. Never mind. Moving forward. Is that your turn?
Got any bonus actions you want?
Oh.
And there's a spiritual weapon.
There we go. A 27. What hits the Dragon Turtle?
A glowing newspaper appears and bops it on the nose.
Really, really
Yes.
hard.
You boop the snoot. Roll your damage. 12 points of snoot booping damage. Alrighty. Next up is Emil, who is once again going to try to stab it.
And fail miserably.
Oh,
and get
no.
a 9. He's crying his best. Next up is Hobby.
Okay. I have a question about my move.
You can split it up as much as you want.
My question is, can I get under the frickin' turtle?
How tall are you again?
Cat.
No, I ask because we had a 7-foot tall tabaxi, and you have said canonically that you're not that tall.
I'm a small... No, actually, Hobby was malnourished as a kitten before she got adopted, and she's small. She's like, 5 feet, maybe a little bit, 5'1", 5'2", something like that.
I
She's
will
a
say
small
that
kitty.
if you go prone, yeah. If you don't go prone, you can be under the head.
Hobby would sort of like to get underneath enough that she can do like the baseball slide into home base, except reaching up with one hand to grab the turtle. Because with the other hand, well, I'm going to do my bonus action. I'll just do that part here.
You're gonna use
Oh,
Shadow
I don't think-
Blade.
Yeah, I don't think I need to. Yeah, I don't think I need to. I do configure the roll because I have advantage on it, don't I? Anyway, what she wants to do is she wants to basically slide under the turtle, under its head, around to its neck, someplace, grab on with one hand, the shadow blade manifest in the other, and let's see if she. Wait.
You're cutting out a bit, but again, I will say you can do this for the head. If you go under the body proper, you will have, because of your height, you are not a halfling or a gnome. Your angle of attack would require you to be prone for you to do that. And if I remember correctly, if you are making a melee attack while prone, you roll at disadvantage, which would negate your advantage thing.
I am fine with basically leaning backwards a little bit under the head, because I want to start stabbing it in places where it cannot get at me with that stupid steam clean.
All right.
I think
you should move on the grid.
I should, but that won't be okay. Can I move on the grid? That?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, configure roll. Niche. Does that do the right thing?
A 13 will not hit. And it's low enough that a D4 would not help.
Indeed.
But
I don't get 2 attacks, do I? That was my bonus. Pout. Okay.
For a moment I was thinking, wait, no, you're level 12. You should be able to, but you split the levels.
Mm-hmm.
You're level, your
Wait a minute.
And Rouge.
What's with the +1?
I don't know.
Fighting with Foundry.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, something to do with the Shadow Blade?
Yeah, no, but that's wrong. Your dex mod is +5, not +1.
I mean, yeah.
For some reason, it's using your int mod, and that's not correct.
Oh, should I do the attack roll?
That should be 4 points higher, and you should roll a d4 because the d4 might actually make that hit. Because you got a 17. Because it's a finesse dex weapon, not an intelligence weapon. And for some reason, it thinks it's an intelligence weapon.
Probably because Arcane Trickster.
Yeah.
So it's thinking, oh, it's a spell. Therefore, the roll for it is going to be int.
But no, it is not a spell, and it is not a spell. I mean, it is a spell, but it's not a spell attack.
Yeah.
So if I roll a 4 on that d4 and...
That's a 21.
All right, roll your damage.
Okay. Also, it's a sneak attack.
Well, I could tell you the Dragon Turtle was not expecting. The Dragon Turtle's like, that's not going to hit me. That's an intellect attack. Wait, what?
What is this configure roll thing that keeps popping up? I don't know. I'm just going to roll it? Is that what it's supposed to do? Am I supposed to get 5d6?
For sneak attack at level 12, possibly. So the configure roll thing that pops up is frequently for advantage, disadvantage stuff, but sneak attack is weird. I was getting those with A last time, and
I don't like
didn't wrap my head around it either. I just clicked through.
Yeah, that's why I did.
Okay, damage applied.
And
it is bloody.
Can I hit one of my first level spells? That's what it takes to do a smite, right?
Yes. You have to use a spell slot.
I will use one of my first level spell slots. No, not 12. 1. Thank you. Because
you use
let's get
all
in a
the
smite.
Spell slots you have.
No. No.
You turn the turtle into bacon and eggs.
And there's my smite for 2d8 additional damage. Plus 1d8 for each level by the first. No. Is it undead or a fiend?
It is not an undead or fiend.
Okay. So just 2d8.
It is technically a dragon.
9?
9. I mean, yes.
Steve.
Thank you. I'm here all week. Alrighty. Hello to you too. And on that note, it is now Tex's turn. Tex, all of your hard work has been undone.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sorry. Hobby is now slightly under the turtle. If you swap places with Hobby, does this mean that you get to headbutt the turtle's head up into the ceiling or something?
At this point,
no.
You swap places, you'd still be within range of a bite.
Sigh.
If I swap places with the Hobby, I would be halfway into the floor.
Or into the Dragon Turtle.
Yes. Either way, not somewhere I particularly want to be.
And you've been inside a sheep.
True. Hmm.
Anyway, Thunderous Smite is a bonus action,
Nice.
and then
Everyone is distributed your protection.
pretty much.
Hobby flicks her ears flat. That's all.
That's a nat 20.
Nah.
And
That's
you
great.
already called a smite.
I did.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
I need to scroll up. Oh no, that's on my turn. But it will crit with the what's it? So I am rolling 4d8.
Oh, right. You put the divine weapon. Oh, and also the ghost.
I had the ghost selected by accident.
Oh.
That's divine
the
weapon.
4d8 from the divine. Yep.
Chainbreaker is blessed.
Okay. I'm gonna just click that apply button. And is there more damage coming now or no?
There is.
Actually, there should be. There should be. I need to make a saving throw, don't I? Strength saving.
You do, yes.
I don't.
Hmm.
Then the dragon turtle is pushed 10 feet away and knocked prone.
How do you knock a
Is there
dragon
a
turtle?
size limitation on that?
If it's a creature.
You could technically push the Tarask 10 feet
Yeah.
back.
Yes.
Feet. And knock it on its back.
It's,
Does a dragon turtle have trouble getting up off its back considering the shell?
no, it's not getting knocked on its back. It's getting knocked prone. Not the same thing.
Prone.
It's going to be not up on its leg.
Oh,
So-
okay.
10 feet back. 5, 10. Good news, everyone. Merrick is not getting crushed.
Good.
Moving it exactly 10 feet has revealed a Merrick to everyone.
Yes.
That was a total of 57 damage.
Crash, I have a
Wow.
question.
Yeah.
It just left Hobby's location and Merrick's. Do we get attacks of opportunity as it goes?
Traditionally, it has to do that of its own volition, not just get pushed.
I'm pouting. I'm pouting.
Okay. Okay.
And one more thing.
Mm-hmm. Maneuvers, goading attack. When you hit with a weapon attack, you can expend one superiority die to add to the total damage roll. It needs to make a wisdom saving throw, or no, on failure, the target has disadvantage on all attack rolls against targets other than you. All right. So, you need to make a wisdom saving throw for a turtle.
Yes. Oh, and 4 more points of damage.
Oh, and formal.
And you got the 21 from the holy weapon, blessed weapon there.
I already
Yes.
put that in, yes.
Okay, just, yeah.
It is doing very bad on these rolls.
Mhm.
For the
It did
record,
not
the
expect
strength
this.
saving throw, it had a +7 and still didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tex has established herself as the most dangerous thing in the room. So that was her
Mhm.
goal.
Really?
She's
Yep.
sticking with it. And once again, she's coming up to be face to face.
Which is funnier considering Texas face
Yes.
Hmm.
or faceplate. Anyway, I love
Oh.
everything about it.
There actually is one more thing.
Yes, Columbo.
Attack rolls against the dragon turtle have advantage until the start of my next turn.
Because of the Crusher critical feature.
Do I get double advantage?
No. No, alas, you cannot get double advantage. You have to be
Not
playing
even if I
Cypher
w-
System to stack things like that.
Big kitten eyes?
Anyway, that's my turn.
Nice.
Okay.
Mhm.
It is now the Dragon Turtle's turn.
It is prone.
Actually, I do have a question for Tex. You have extra attack.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't actually a question after
The
I
teacher
said
in
it.
me
but-
was trying so hard to not say that. The 25 you just rolled hits.
Do I do the radiant damage again?
Isli, blessed weapon? Each hit? Or just once per turn?
Let me check. I am
Yeah, I genuinely have no idea.
holy weapon. In addition, weapon attacks made with it deal an extra 2d8 radiant damage on a hit. Therefore, it will do the radiant damage again.
Okay.
Alas, this one's not a crit.
That's okay. It has 2 hit points left.
Oh. Wow.
And Tex literally just rolled a 2.
There you go. There you go.
How do you do this, Tex?
I wind up and drive its head into the floor.
You wind up and drive its head into the floor. It was already prone. It fell down. It does not get back up again. Chumbawamba lied to us.
Squish.
Yep.
Turtle soup.
Got plenty of it on this one.
We've been playing for a little over an hour. What do you say we take a short break?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Nice going.
Yes.
High five, Tex.
And we all know that's not going to happen because I've already pressed the button.
Oh, speaking of
Alright.
buttons, I had the oddest experience today. So when I was growing up, we had a TV that it had a panel that was that like it was one of those ones that you push it and it sort of slides down under, and then there's the control panel for the TV. And that broke off within the first year.
Oh, what?
And then
Well, of course.
we could never find the remote. And so we always just turned it on by going up and pushing the power button, which was to the bottom right of the television. I haven't seen that TV in more than a decade. But as I was walking past my television, which does not actually have a physical control panel, I said, oh, the TV's on. I should turn it off before the game. And I reached down to the front right of the TV, expecting there to be a button there.
Muscle memory.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That
was just weird. I thought it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Thank you for sharing that. And the ghouls thank you for the dragon turtle. They will feast for several days now.
All right.
Ghouls have no
Soup.
compulsion against talking meat. Oh,
They
no,
would
don't
kind
bother
of,
with
yeah.
Mm.
Well,
And we killed it in an accessible place, so they don't have to go
Yeah.
diving to get it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I will allow you at this point to have a long rest.
Oh,
Okay. And we level up to
Nice.
13.
No.
good.
is New Day?
Long rest. Here we go.
Does it count as
Ta-da.
a New Day or?
I don't know.
It is not a new day, but I'm giving you a long rest. So, in the process
Do
of...
you have a once a day ability that needs to recharge?
I have no idea. I just
Oh,
want to
okay.
make sure the Tiki Mart did the right Tiki Mart.
Mm.
As I watch everyone's little HP bar go full green. Yep, there we go. So after you take a break and let the adrenaline wash away and maybe have a sip of some type of tea, one of the ghouls comes up to you back in Oregano proper, where you are resting, and says, so, that dragon turtle you killed, thank you for that, by the way. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. That's one of the things you came here to help with. Again, ghouls have canonically very large tongues, so the ghoul is having trouble talking.
Okay.
Aw.
Yes, ghouls don't tend to have a lot of conversation when they're feral, but I wouldn't necessarily say these are domesticated, but they're more civilized.
Mm.
They don't like the fact that they're ghouls, which is why they hang out with a Deathlock who doesn't like that he's a Deathlock, and vampires who don't like that they're vampires, and a whole bunch of zombies that don't have a lot to say about it because zombies.
Mm.
Yes. So, when we were processing it, we noticed it had a lot of tooth marks on it.
I don't think we bit it.
Oh, no.
That'd be
these
the
were-
giant shark, probably.
It holds up a tooth that's about the size of its head.
That'd probably be the giant shark.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
None of these bites were in a spot that would have, like, killed it or even, like, made it bleed out or something. It was being goaded.
If it had asked for help instead of steam cleaning us,
Oh,
then
dragon throws
we
are
might have
horrible.
helped.
You might be able
Oh.
to boggle with them with Trevor and something, but no, it wouldn't have asked for help.
Oh, well, that's its problem then, I guess.
Oh, so does anyone here speak Aquan?
Can't say that I do.
No.
Draconic?
I can cast tongues.
It probably wouldn't have waited for you to do that.
Oh, well.
Don't feel bad about giving us lumps.
So it was being chewed on by a shark god to goad it into attacking us.
Well, it could have done some serious harm. The rest of that tunnel was not intact enough to keep it from barreling through the rest of the way if you hadn't stopped it. And also, I have a love-hate relationship with this character's voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
to do, but I'm thinking of the quality of the recording and whether or not anyone's going to be able to hear me and understand what I'm saying.
They probably
Um,
will.
Enough of
Um,
it.
Yeah. Do you think a Thark would have had the same luck?
Hmm.
to a really big shark that's super intelligent, the dragon turtle was expendable.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And probably so were the hooligan it sent.
Could be,
And
does
the
it
other large
want
shark that you
here?
killed. Well, probably
Sorry,
wanted
that one
whatever's
sank.
left of the Quacken. And I realized that with that particular voice,
Quacken.
it sounds like he said Quacken.
quacking.
Quack, quack.
Okay.
Release the Quacken!
Sure.
Quack, 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 quack,
A
quack,
giant duck with tentacles springs up out of the water.
Oh no. Like, oh no, buddy, that's the Call of
Wah.
Cthulhu game instead.
Well,
There's a farmer whose videos I watch where he raises ducks and geese, among other things. And every time that he lets the ducks out of their coop in the morning, he yells, "Release the Quacken!" And he opens the door, and there is this flood of ducks that just all run out the door and down the ramp and out into the field.
Oh no.
That's good. Yeah, it's good for them probably.
mhm.
Well, yeah, well, he free ranges them.
That's good.
Mm.
It's good.
I didn't
Anyway.
hear what was said about the Kraken.
So it was established at this point in real life months ago. So memories fade. But
Mhm.
the Kraken,
No, I
Spent-
remember what was established about the Kraken. I didn't hear what was said about the Kraken.
the shark god probably wants whatever was left over from the Kraken.
Okay,
It
thank
probably
you.
wants to
Someone was
absorb
talking
whatever
over you.
powers there.
I couldn't hear
Yeah.
you.
Understandable.
Oh, sorry.
What, someone in this campaign talking over somebody else? And it wasn't Crash? I heard you choke off a laugh. That's funny because it's true. Anyway, yeah, so I thought I'd just share that information. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your tea.
Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy your turtle.
We will.
Well, it's good. It's not going to go to waste then.
No, that'll
Right.
probably keep them going for a few days at least.
All right.
Usually we have to ship in meat for them.
Well, they won't have to worry about that for a bit.
Yeah. And we won't have to worry about the questionable morals of the people who send us fresh corpses.
Ew.
Well, that's what ghouls eat.
They can't do fresh dead fish.
okay.
It doesn't, it's the magics that sustain them. It's like, I can drink the blood of animals, but it doesn't. To say it doesn't have the same kick would be very irreverent. It's not as effective at keeping me unalive.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I think it's fair to say that they've thought about this quite a bit more than we have. And we haven't been
Mhm.
brought here to troubleshoot this.
Hmm. Well, the sharks would have been keeping them from fishing too. So, I wonder if that shark was intelligent enough to count.
The big one.
We were
probably
brought
was.
here to deal with the dragon turtle. Would you like us to stay longer?
GM note, you were brought here to solve two problems. One was the dragon turtle, the other one was the hooligan.
And
Oh.
Sugan are not yet
Ah,
solved.
Yeah, it was a twofer.
Then I
both-
retract that statement.
Yeah. Both mitosis parties were taking care of two quests at the same time.
okay.
And I thought,
Considering
well,
that
go
this-
for one or the other.
Considering that the Sahuagin apparently have had no problem feeding people to their shark god, which isn't this is technically not them eating the sea elves, but on the other hand, it is farming sapient people for god fodder. I mean, if the ghouls want some Sahuagin sushi, guess it's karma.
That's pretty much normal for Sahuagin. They really do not get along with CLs historically, ever.
I mean, I'm sure that they're being, what's the right word? There's competing in the same
You keep cutting out the same syllables.
Yep.
What the crap?
Slow it
That
down
came
a little
through
bit.
crystal
Maybe it'll
clear.
work.
Adjust my microphone, twist it around a little bit. There's competing for the same ecological niches, and then there's sacrificing people. There's a difference.
Well, when they're not sacrificing CLs, they are literally eating them too. Or just killing them for the sake of killing them. Apparently, every now and then, there's a Sahuagin that's born that looks like a sea elf, and they
What?
send them. Yeah. I thought it was weird too. But I've been. Well, while you were taking a nap, I was talking to the refugees you help rescue.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, that's a thing that happens every so often. They're still Sahuagin. They're accepted as Sahuagin, but they then go and infiltrate a Sea Elf community and cause enough chaos or scout around enough that the Sahuagin have a better time of going in and killing everyone.
I have questions that I'm not sure I want the answers to.
You'd have to ask the devs at Wizards of the Coast because they're the ones that came up with it.
I see. A wizard did it.
And you are on the coast, but wrong one.
Yes. Yes. Hmm.
But yeah, that's some weird Sahuagin lore for you.
Wow.
I wonder if Sahuagin are intended to be like literally sea orcs of the Tolkien style that used to be elves that got horribly mutated.
There's that possibility. In D&D lore, elves themselves are very mutable because in multiple campaign settings, the god of the elves is the god of change. Literally does not have a gender, does not have a set form. Could be a beam of radiant light one day and decide, you know what, I'm going to be a tree the next day. Decide, I'm going to be a humanoid the next day. Decide, I'm going to be a multi-armed giraffe the next day. Didn't matter. And elves inherited some of that when they were created, so that in just a few generations, if they've moved into an area, like that's why wood elves are wood elves, because they lived in the woods for a few generations and they took on certain attributes. Astral elves are astral elves because they've lived in the astral plane for a few generations. Hundreds and hundreds of years, that's a few generations for elves.
Right.
They should not be able to adapt that quickly, but they do because they're mutable. Matter of fact, some elves still maintain more of that so that they're not just gender fluid, they're sex fluid. They might go to bed and wake up a different gender because they felt like it.
This implies that Sahuagin are actually extremely mutated, evil dark god worshipping elves.
They could be. Or they could be more like orcs, where the orcs hate the elves because Grumsh, god of the orcs, was fighting, I can't pronounce their name properly, but the god of the elves. And during the fight, they both got a good blow. Their blood hit the ground. The blood from the orc god turned into orcs. The blood from the elf god turned into elves. Well, elf precursors, Eladrin, who eventually devolved into elves. Anyway, we can say this lore dump is canon. We have a wonderful conversation. Tim pipes in with his usually raspy, slow demeanor. You all get a short rest before the sentence is over. But you've already had a long rest, so the short rest does nothing.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, I'm here all week.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like your next step should probably be to investigate that spire place that the CLs were talking about.
Sounds like the best.
You go.
No, it's okay.
No, because I could just keep talking to myself, but it's better for player banter.
I was just saying, sounds like the best plan.
I mean, we could also just stay here and let the shark god keep throwing things at us ineffectually. That works too, right?
Unfortunately, if it keeps throwing things at you, eventually it just has to win once.
I know you have a good point. I just don't like it.
Besides, maybe we can find some more sea elves to rescue. But then we have to figure out if they're disguised Sahuagin ex-elves.
That's probably less likely. They're not raiding a sea elf community. They've already conquered it.
They wouldn't want to accidentally eat Sahuagin elves.
Something like that. Also, they're not in control of the whole city. Something pushed them to the edges. Something more powerful than a shark god and an army of Sahuagin. They will not likely be as organized as they would be if they were in full control. I have a proposal.
Hobby is not asking if there's a ring. She's not asking if there's a ring. She's not asking if there's a ring. She's holding her tail very tightly and not asking if there's a ring.
I'm not currently looking to be in a relationship at the moment. I am in a long-term, stable relationship with a very significant number of undead followers that I have been in charge of. It's kind of like a polycule, but Everyone's arrow ace. Anyway, that is not in canon.
But it's hilarious.
It's
Yeah,
funny.
I was speaking out of character in my in-character voice. That's a bingo card thing. Anyway,
That's bingo card.
as you are
Proposal.
aware, most of the dead don't need to breathe. We will provide a distraction of sorts that allows you to approach from a different direction when they all go chasing after ghosts.
Literal ghosts?
I am fond of metaphors, but in this case, you are quite correct.
Poppy's intrigued by literal ghosts, but is not going to divert the conversation into that again too quickly.
They don't actually live here, mind you, but I've made some friends along the way. A few of them owe me favors. This will do nicely.
And then we sneak into this spire place and see what's going on, and I'm going to so
You cut out before you said wet, but yes, that will happen. Now,
So
if you'll
wet.
excuse me, I need to go prepare a few rituals. It's fairly easy to bribe Ghost Pirate with rum, but you have to make it a different kind of spirit for them to be able to get drunk off of it.
nah.
All right. Cut 2. Is there anything that you wish to do to prepare for this before you go diving and take a walk?
We got given or we acquired the cap of water breathing. Yes, I see it right
Yeah,
there.
Mhm.
you all have the ability to breathe in the water. Initially, when
Yep.
you got to that cove, you were going to jump down and explore, and that's why you got the water breathing stuff. You just never had the opportunity because life comes at you fast, and so do giant sharks.
Mhm. Yep.
Fish fear me, or they should.
All right. So
That's cool.
other than tying on your caps of water breathing, is there anything you do to prepare?
Make sure that all my gear that I'm wearing that isn't already completely soaked is stowed appropriately and will not be damaged by the water. Like, make sure the soap is all wrapped up and, well, it's in the backpack that I'm leaving behind because, frankly, I don't think I'm going to need to take a bath and soap my fur. While we're
When you
underwater.
get back to Flag headquarters, you're going to go into that consignment shop and see a wetsuit on display. Actually, it would have to be a dry suit. That's a different thing.
The look that I'm giving. Yes, but it's very difficult to get a proper diving suit that does not constrain you too much when one is a rogue and doesn't rub your the wrong way when to backs.
Well, it can't constrain you that much because you have to swim in it, but also tail.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and you wouldn't get a good seal around the neck, so it would seep in through your fur. Your fur would wick it all the way through, so it would just keep the water in.
I'm not talking to you. Bobby is not talking to the GM.
Good, because that fourth wall is something you don't see. All right. So, cut 2. You are underwater. You were given directions to wait a certain amount of time. You were given a little hourglass. And when the hourglass ran out, then it should be safer for you to infiltrate the spires. The spires were quite some distance away. We're just going to gloss over how far away because, dagnabbit, I'm not doing 3 sessions of you approaching. Okay? You do notice before the hourglass runs out that there are Sahuagin scouts who swim over and have a quick conversation with other Sahuagin, and then large groups of them are moving en masse away from where you've been hiding.
Is that what we were supposed to?
You were supposed
It's
to
a
wait.
diversion.
Yeah, you were supposed to wait a certain amount of time to ensure the diversion took hold. You were not told to wait for a signal because
That would
they
make
did,
that'd be,
that would be a hat tip.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you were just told wait this amount of time, and when you waited that amount of time, it'll probably be okay. You have also seen evidence that waiting that amount of time was a good idea, and something has happened. There are now fewer Sahuagin that you're going to have to sneak past. However, if you proceed forward, I've got some bad news for you. You will have to make stealth checks.
Stealth checks. Stealth. Normal stealth.
It's not going to be at advantage now.
Ooh.
Hmm.
It that one hit the.
It's not physics-based rolling. Seeing what the die does doesn't mean anything. It's the number it displays at the end.
Especially since Tex's die hit mine and rolled it to a 13.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to say that Isili, who... Are you wearing chainmail?
I'm wearing mithril half plate. Wait,
Mithril
half plate? Yep, mithril half plate. And that's
Well-
important because mithril half plate does not impose this on stealth checks.
So that is why Isili got a 14. Isili's doing
Yep.
pretty good, all things considered.
I mean, I'm a little out of practice, but oh, how did I get it past? That's not good.
Apparently, I was floating when I should have been slinking. It's very upsetting.
Everything about the situation is upsetting to Hobby, which is likely why you were distracted enough to get a 10.
Yeah.
Which was a nat one.
Yes.
Oh, that was I didn't click through to see what it was without the bonuses. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, the
Hobby-
hobby rolled a 1. Merrick and I both rolled 2s. Isili was the only one to roll above a 5. And in fact, the only one to roll above a 3.
The dice hate us. Can we re-roll this?
Actually, I need to roll for a meal.
Oh,
I
we
didn't
get a
roll
meal
for
to come.
Yeah.
Also, the answer
Yes,
to that question is, do you have inspiration?
I mean, yes, I do, but also if I can sucker the GM into saying the dice are just bad. Emil!
Emil got a nat 20. Emil, the vampire paladin, is... None of you see Emil.
Obviously, vampire is... Yeah.
They just appear out of the murk, and that's the last thing you see. No. Emil is doing incredible. Yes, I think at this point you all have inspiration from one thing or another, because every time I check your character to give you inspiration for making me laugh, you already have it. So if you wish to re-roll, you may re-roll. Just spend your inspiration, people.
Hmm.
That's a 21 for Tech.
I am going to spend my inspiration and re-roll. This is too embarrassing. Okay, stealth. Normal.
Another 1.
My die is broken.
Oh no.
Rolled a double nat one.
Yes.
Forgot what I'm rolling for.
You stealth.
Stealth.
Stealth? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is Samurai rolling stealth?
He's been here the whole time.
That's better.
All right.
Not a 15.
So, I will tell you, you do not see any Sahuagin.
They made their stealth rolls.
And you got your inspiration back. So,
Or
the
hobby
spires.
is so unhappy about being not only wet, but so completely immersed in water that it's not possible to not be wet
Mm-hmm.
within a reasonable frame of time. That she does not have it in her to be stealthy.
Imagine, if you will, there is a tabaxi who has just given up and is being dragged behind the party by their tail as they just float.
We have one of those. We have one of those toddler harness things.
Oh yeah.
She's just going to be visible and fine. If something messes with her, she has like feline and she'll cope.
Hobby is very visible, but Hobby is also the obvious trap, where if you get anywhere near Hobby, so many of those ends are pointy.
Yes, this one's a trap, and this one's a trap, and this one's a trap. The tummy is a trap.
Well, why, yes, Socket, we are talking about a kitty right now who's in a very bad situation. Would you like me to demonstrate?
Does Socket want a bat?
He looked at me and made a meow that had syllables.
That is so cute.
Anyway, enough of this personification. Moving on. The spires are appropriately named. They're these structures that rise up out of the seafloor. The seafloor is exactly what you would expect a seafloor to look like. The spires don't look anything like the seafloor. They are, for the most part, a black that's not It varies. Some parts of it are a glossy black like onyx, but others look more like charred wood. It's not wood, but it has that kind of texture of what not charcoal per se, because it's not briquettes, but if you put out a fire before it's consumed all the wood, it has that texture in some place.
All crackly.
Yeah, they rise up as far as you can see in the gloom here. Some of these structures are large enough that there are pockmarked areas that look like they were retrofitted into being either a domicile or a working location or a holding cell or various things. But others are just a large chunk of, here is this thing that is here now. This is not a place of honor. And they are everywhere and mostly organized in a kind of grid.
Like windows or apartment building type things.
Give me investigation, and reasons for me making you roll at disadvantage and advantage both exist. So just plain investigation. With a 24.
Thank you.
With a 24, there is the strong possibility that saying something looks like something doesn't mean it is something. You can see a face in a rock. It doesn't mean the rock has a face. We're hardwired
Usually.
to look for face. Well, sometimes the rocks are good friends and members of the guild, but that's besides the point.
Right.
Sometimes they're students at Moe's School for Gifted Youth. That's besides the point. But there's a lot here where you spent a large chunk of your life dealing with the jurors and the destruction they wrought over the known universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a ruined city looks like. This looks like a city that got ruined, fell over, sank into the ocean, and nobody built another city on top of it. They instead built a city around it, and they were chased out, and a new city was built around it, and then they were chased out to the edges, which is
That
where
city
you are.
caught fire.
But it's underwater. No one knows how that happened, but there is a glowing thing off in the distance there, so it looks like it might actually be on fire. That's canon.
This looks like it's former city that people have been building over and around. That's glowing.
I mean, it's fairly far away, but in this gloom, a light source is a bit more of a beacon than if everything was bright and shiny. But there is, in fact, a light source that is off closer towards the center of the city. You are not seeing any Sahuagin at all right now. You're seeing signs that Sahuagin, I can speak, are here. We're here. You have gone past several things that look like they were at one point holding pens, likely for sea elves. To answer the question, the recording is almost at 2 hours, and I'm about to do the cliffhanger to wrap things up.
Ah.
Yes. That, or we're going to start another hour of combat.
No.
We are not going to start another hour of combat. We are not doing that. There are pens that look like they were meant to hold captives. They are currently empty. They appear to still be well maintained ish, but there's no sign that there was a sudden break to get out. The question is, what direction do you wish to head? Do you wish to investigate the light source? Do you wish to look for prisoners? Do you wish to sneak up behind the Sahuagin as they're all staring at the distraction and go peekaboo? Do you wish to go home?
Well, it would be
You know
nice to
Hobby's
be out
vote.
of the way. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hobby is probably voting for heading towards that light and checking for places where prisoners might be along the way.
We have one vote for going towards
Tex
the light.
is
Hmm?
Tex is inclined to look for prisoners, but will go along with head toward the light and look for prisoners along the way, as long as look for prisoners along the way isn't elided.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely want to look for prisoners along the way.
I also want to vote for looking for prisoners.
Yep, Merrick will do that too.
Okay.
So let's look for prisoners in a way that moves us closer to the light.
Yes.
All right. So you all go into the light. A little girl in front of a staticky TV. No, never mind.
No. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Wrong campaign. Anyway, someone give me a survival check. I'm just going to have it be a group thing. So someone give me a survival check, or go by the highest roll, because if someone's going the wrong way, there can always be someone who points in the right way. Hobby, well, that's investment. Looking at the old rolls.
No, I cannot survive underwater. Hi, Merrick.
Okay. So with the highest roll being a 13,
Yep.
I'm not going to say you have trouble going towards the light. Things getting brighter, you're going towards the light. Things getting darker, you're not. Change direction. I will say that you are not finding prisoners in the direction that you are going in. You are finding a few more cages, but as you are progressing, you are finding less and less signs that people were here recently. Someone give me a perception check.
16.
Hobby got a 16. You don't even see fish. Even around sharks, there will be fish. They live off of the scraps of what's left. You don't even see fish.
Tex got an 18.
Tex notices this too. Nothing that isn't plant life nothing that isn't plant life is here. There are underwater species that don't technically even have a brain. They are not here,
Is the plant life looking healthy?
so far as you can tell.
That's something.
Divine sense from Tech. I love that it registers as a noxious odor, and you're a Warforged. You can still have olfactory
Yeah.
sensors, but the word sensor is slightly different connotation. I am saying this as I scan through. Celestial, fiend, or undead is what you're looking for. And the range is 60 feet. Yes. And it's approaching.
Okay.
And it's above
What's
you.
the type? Sorry?
And it's above you.
What's
And
the
you
type?
look up
Celestial, fiend, or undead?
and see a celestial shark. Its mouth open, swimming straight down. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Okay.
Thank
They
you,
found
everyone,
the
for
shark
playing.
god.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Tonight, I've been joined by a bunch of awesome people, including Beth, who can speak well, Ellie, who can speak well, Io, who can speak well, and Jen, who can speak well. I've been Crash, your GM, who cannot speak well right now. What are words? Who wants to plug a thing?
Also can't speak well, so
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Are we plugging
They're
things?
We are
They're individual units of conversation, but that's not important right now.
I was drinking my tea.
Caught that one.
Does this mean that Ellie gets inspiration?
Ellie got it within 1 second
Oh, right.
of using it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
because
Oh.
Ellie provides a valuable service. Anyway,
Indeed.
I have heard that Io's mom writes books.
At elizabethmccoy.com, and they're ebooks, and ask your local library to check them out, see if they're within the budget, and they ought to be within the budget. They're like pocket change compared to what traditional publishers charge for. So then the library's happy because they could get you a book cheap and you could read it for free, and I'd be happy because I would get paid and I could, feed my cats, and including the one who has to be fed through a tube right now. And speaking of books,
My website is bookofjen.net. I've been putting a bunch of stuff on it as I have time or energy to do so. You can find it as a lot of things on there. Some of them are video games. Some of them are just other things I'm writing about. So that's bookofjen.net. I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast, which I'm hoping to get enough energy to put together sometime later tonight. You can find that at shatteredsoulstone.com.
And speaking of websites, you put all these podcasts at aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel. If you are getting our podcast from somewhere else, and especially if you're hearing ads in them, maybe get them from aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel, because the only ads are these plugs that we put at the end. You can also follow us on the Fediverse at is.aaronbsmith.com/@cogwheel. The Fediverse is great. There's fewer Nazis. Anyway, you can also support us on Patreon, patreon.com/cogwheelgaming. Help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shen Shen, Walter, Liv Droman, and patron emeritus Cindy.
until next time.
This is Crash saying, oh, well, I wasn't expecting them to be here. Fascinating. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Dun, 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 dun.